Hello and welcome to Ginny's Gin. This is our live stream. This is actually our 21st edition, and thank you everybody for those of you that have been watching. And it's going to be a scorcher this weekend and through into next week. And it is September, and of course in wine country, what does that mean? It means harvest. So all the grapes are being harvested, some have already been harvested. And I was charged with, oh, by the way, for those of you that don't know, I am Ginny of Ginny's Gin, and my husband Rob is going to join me in a moment, and together with our dear friends Amy and Jeff Close, we started Ginny's Gin a few years ago. And so just recently I was charged with, well, if you're in the booze business, when you're going to a party or a celebration, generally you're the person that brings the cocktail or the wine or what have you, because that's just the business that we're in. And this particular celebration is a Spanish themed, so there's going to be paella. And so I was asked if I could bring some sangria. So it turns out that sangria obviously is wine based. It turns out that it's pretty much tourists in Spain that drink sangria. I'm not sure that a lot of Spaniards do that. So it's sort of it's become this kind of touristy thing, the sangria. But it's super refreshing and it's kind of fun when the it's hot and sunny. So I obviously we're in the gin business as well as the wine business. So I did a little research and I found some recipes that do in fact include gin in the sangria. So the one that I'm going to do includes red wine, and generally because we're doing a Spanish theme, it's going to be a Rioja. But I also found that you can do a white wine sangria as well. So you can do gin and white wine, add a little grape juice, and then just throw in some grapes and maybe some apple or some orange and what have you. So that's the white one. The one that I'm going to do today, I'm going to use the red wine. And this is actually a barrel sample that Rob brought home, so I didn't want to break up a whole bottle of wine. So if you're doing a celebration and you're going to have a big pitcher, normally you do a big pitcher of the sangria, but obviously just for today's purposes, I'm just going to do one glass. So normally what you do is you take your pitcher and you'll cut up the fruit. So in this case I'm going to start with an apple, and it's a good idea to make this, I mean you could almost make it the night before and just leave it in the fridge, but if you want to do it an hour beforehand and let it all chill and let the wine and the spirits sort of meld into the, sort of soak into the fruit if you like. So I'm just going to chop up a little bit of apple, and obviously normally it would be probably a couple of apples that I would use when you throw them in the pitcher, but in this case I'm just going to throw it into the glass, and then I'm going to slice up some orange that our youngest son very kindly went and got for me. And the larger slices would be fine in the pitcher, but I'm just going to cut them up into quarters for this particular purpose. So some orange and then some lemon. There we go. I'll do that without the pips and stuff. You can even squeeze a little orange juice in there if you want to. Some of them call for orange juice, but some of them call for brandy, some of them call for Cointreau, and I've got Grand Marnier. So this is a sort of orange flavoured cognac, so I figured that was kind of perfect. So I am going to do half an ounce of the Grand Marnier. There we go. Into the glass.
Hey, you're blowing my Grand Marnier.
And I'm going to do an ounce of gin. And you can, play around with the different quantities, obviously, depending on your taste. And then some of the recipes.
You can do that whole thing in a punch bowl.
Yeah, no, you can do it in a punch bowl or a pitcher, whatever you decide. For the celebration, I'm actually going to do one white and one red, and so it'll be interesting to see what people prefer. And I was very happy to see that you can include gin in sangria, because a lot of them they just call for rum or brandy or Grand Marnier or what have you. But the gin I think works really perfectly, and it's got its own botanicals as well, so it sort of adds in the mix. And then I'm just going to add in the red wine. So
Russian River
Pinot. There we go. It's a Russian River gravel pit Pinot Noir, and then I'm going to.
Yikes.
What's that? What did you say?
Yikes.
Yikes! What do you mean?
It's too good a wine for that.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
but it was, yes, but it was, yeah, I know.
It's topping wine.
It's topping wine. It's okay. And we're gonna put As I say, you would probably put Rioja or something, you know, relatively cheap in there. All right, lots of ice. Give a little, actually I have a little stirring glass here. Stirring spoon. There we go. So basically, you know, the spirits, give it a little extra, a little bit more oomph. And then you would top off, this is San Pellegrino, you could use any kind of soda. Some people use ginger ale, you could do that too. And then actually I have seen some recipes where they top it off with sparkling wine. So if it is a festive occasion, it's a celebration. And I think what I'm going to do next week is I'm going to bring some cava, which is obviously Spain's sparkling wine. So I'm going to top off next week at the party with the cava, socially distanced, intimate party, just so you know. So this is actually just a little splash of that. There we go. And very, very simple. You know, you could even, if you had some other fruits in the garden or what have you, or in the fridge, you know, perfectly acceptable to add that in as well. So there's the sangria with Ginny's gin. And Rob now is going to make a cocktail, but he's also going to talk about something to do with the wine, and we have something to sort of announce and talk about. So I'm going to let him take it away in a second, because he has some new releases and some fun stuff to talk about. Okay, see you back in a bit. Thank you, darling.
Hi, happy Friday, everybody. Just stepped on Ginny's big toe. Now she needs a tow truck. Okay, so this is my ice cold Tom Collins glass. So I'm going to make a blueberry Collins, but instead of using basil, which we have a ton of in the garden still, I'm going to go savory. And so I've taken 22 blueberries, so 11 per drink. 11's a really lucky number for us. So this is 2 drinks. And then a pinch of thyme and a pinch of rosemary, both just kind of out of the garden fresh. A little, you know, not a giant amount because it's just 2 drinks. And before I do that, though, I do want to talk about Gravel Pit for a sec. We are members of a new tasting room that opened up a month and a half or so ago in Sebastopol here in Sonoma County, in a place called the Barlow, and it's called Taste Your Region. So if you go check out tasteyourregion.com, you can find a place where each of the 25 wineries that are there have 2 weeks during the year where it's their focus week. So our focus week starts on Sunday and runs through, or it starts on Monday and runs through the following Sunday. So on the 30th, which happens to be my birthday, we're going to be hosting from 4 to 8. Whenever
Nice plug.
Yeah, we're going to be coming in for a winemaker's happy hour, and Fern Bar, which has awesome food, is going to be providing the, you know, like heavy past apps that go along with our wines. So we're going to be releasing 2 new wines, a Russian River Pinot. So these are all of our 2018 vintage wines. 2018 Russian River, which is 90% from a single vineyard, and then we're going to have the 2 vineyard Sonoma Coast Chardonnay, also just being released, and then available for the whole week flights of our 5 wines, but also only available on Wednesday night during the winemaker Canapé happy hour is going to be a preview of the 2018 vintage of our cab from Meg's Vineyard in Woodland Valley, part of Napa Valley, and it's very, very promising. Kind of excited to share that. So that was it. So that's Taste Your Region, and they're in Sebastopol at the Barlow.
Yes, and it's actually called Region, and they're in the Barlow in Sebastopol. So, but the website is Drink Your Region.
That's right,
actually, it's drinkyourregion.com. So DrinkYourRegion.com.
Yeah, that was a bad plug. Taste Your Region instead of Drink
That's
Your
okay,
Region.
similar.
Okay, so we're just going to muddle, and this has been in the gin just for about 20 minutes, so really nothing has happened. And we're just going to give it a little buzz to, you know, release all those great juices from the blueberries. And look at the color that you get right away. You know, soak it for like 20-30 minutes, kind of maybe set the skins up so that it's more easily extracted. Just like alcohol extracts, you know, color out of grapes at temperatures, the high alcohol here is going to help extract it. Okay, then right in the mixing tin, we'll just strain out the pulp Some people do these, you know, whether they use basil or strawberries or blueberries, they call them a smash. But they smash up the berry, like blueberries and mint, for example, but they leave all of it in the glass. And I don't know, I'd rather like get the flavors out and then take all the, what I call the schmutz out. And then just have the drink be a little bit cleaner that way. So, and it strains pretty easily. So, this is 2 drinks. So it has 2 ounces of gin for each drink. 11 blueberries, a little pinch of rosemary and thyme.
And then lemon.
Yeah, it's instead of parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, it's shake your gin with rosemary and thyme.
But don't forget the lemon.
Love you long time. I know. Okay, so beautiful lemon, and so a little bit like 3/4 of an ounce per drink of fresh squeezed lemon juice. So it may take 1.5 lemons. Let's see. So we would, for 2 drinks, we're going to go a full 1.5 ounces. Yeah, it's going to take 1.5 lemons. Give ourselves a little bigger piece on this half. And I'm just going to go just like a hair above 1.5. And then we're going to be kind of careful with this simple syrup because of the blueberries do have some sweetness. So we're going to go like 1 ounce for 2 drinks, which 1/2 ounce per drink. And a little bit just for happiness. And this is our savory Ginny's Gin, blueberry, love you long time, and rosemary cocktail. All right. I knew I'd get that in there, didn't you? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're going to take our super chill glass. We're going to fill it up with ice. Trying to do it without handling the ice. There we go. Okay. We're going to give it just a little shake to kind of marry all the flavors and froth it up a little bit, dilute it a little bit too. There's dilution with the ice, maybe about 1 ounce with 3 ice cubes. Yeah, it's nice and frothy and happy. Okay, so.
Great color.
Yeah, it's really cool looking. Ooh, I also, usually if you want to add a little club soda, and I do, you put it at the bottom of the glass so that it mixes really well.
Did you put gin in?
So I'm going to put it in now.
Did you put gin in? Okay, we
This
forgot
is
the
like
main ingredient.
This is 3 weeks in a row that I keep forgetting the gin. I think, oh, of course I put gin in. You're making.
What is the most important thing here?
It's the first thing I muddled. 4 ounces of gin.
Oh, there was already gin in
You almost had me second guessing myself, and I was going to double up.
Well, that's not a bad idea,
Okay,
either.
so now that I have a little splash of club soda in there,
Sorry, Rob.
you really, you need to be quiet while I'm on. She can't. Yeah, boy. I'm going first next week.
Okay, there you go. Delicious.
Yeah. And, you know, I think it's super cool to chuck a couple blueberries in there. And then this is a flowering rosemary. And the flowers are really beautiful smell. So just kind of put that in there.
There you go.
And there's your savory blueberry cocktail.
Excellent, with the sangria.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so yes, so those of you that can make it to come and drink Gravel Pit, it's all through the week, Monday through Sunday of next week.
Yeah, we'll be there in the afternoons and early evenings every day.
Yeah,
but we'll really
Wednesday's
be
kind of the
focused
key
on
day.
Wednesday.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And maybe I'll even sneak some gin in. But, okay, here's yours.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers. Cheers, everybody. Okay, stay
Cheers,
cool.
Derek.
And hopefully see you next week. And and because we're going to be at Region next week on the Friday, it will mean that we won't be doing a live stream, but we'll be back the following week. So it's to that, and cheers. Cheers. Yum, spicy. Okay.
Very
Cheerio.
Oh, the rosemary really jumps through.